are going to start the motor. Figured you want to see that. I guess if you take it out of gear, it will help. First lick, obviously it's fuel injected, so you don't have to choke it or anything like that. No pumping of the ball. First lick, she hits every single time. She's never failed to hit the first lick, ever. Cold water, hot water, it don't matter. Let's take it out here and see what we can do with it. GoPro's recording. It is. And let's see what kind of speed we can get out of it, and maybe that'll help you out some. I don't know if you can see that or not with the glare. But you can see that rod holder bar, man. I'm telling you, you can sit on this thing. I'm 300 pounds almost, and you can see I could easily set up here. You could definitely put you a plywood platform or something right there, and you could actually pole with this thing or whatever down at Okeechobee, being so shallow. Or you could, I thought about this too, you could put some kind of thing like that, mount it right here, and put your swivel seat up here if you wanted to, but I just never got around to doing that. I put the stern light holder back there on that. That was easy to do with. It's right there underneath the cables. 8 persons, 1,170 pounds. Alrighty. And in neutral, you don't ever troll probably unless you put an umbrella rig. But in neutral, you know, I'm going about 2.8, 2.9 miles an hour. So, and you can see the GPS, and I got the gold cards in this thing right here, in this Ray Marine. So you'll have Okeechobee card on this thing, I'm sure. Plus the coastal maps for the Atlantic and the Gulf are included on it. All right, let's get her going here. Now the right side of the... It's been so long since I've run this boat. She jumps right up on plane, no problem. Well, I lied to you. I forgot this boat don't run faster than that. Trim her up. I put new plugs in it. So once you put a jack plate on it, you'll be able to get probably maybe 40 miles an hour if you prop it right. But it's just me and it's got no other weight in it right now, so the nose of it's real shallow. I mean real light. Alright, let's show you this bait well. So I got that one right there. That's going to be your live well. This is your recycle. I got a filter set up on it, which that just comes right off there. But I've got a, I think that's an 800 Atwood Tsunami on there. And this is just an overflow drain. You can take the top off of it, it overflows. I got it plumb to the bottom of the boat. And it takes a little while to fill this thing up though, being 110 gallons. But while I'm in here, let me show you a couple other things. While I'm letting that fill up. This way maybe you don't have to run all the way up here and want to ride out on it when you get up here. Maybe save you a little time on your trip or something. Some. I haven't used this thing in so long. And this little 55 will pull this boat around real good. And this thing's so stable, man, you can walk all the way around it, which I do on a regular basis. Trash in that bilge pump. I'll let this thing get on filled up and I'll show you what that thing does as far as oxygen infusion and stuff goes. It does have an LED light in there when you turn the other one on. So you got a little LED which does a real good job at night. You're not fishing for anything like that. And this thing right here, I use it as a cutting board. I mean, I'm 300 pounds. I made it to where you could stand on it so you don't lose any fishing space. Real stable. This is what I like to use for my cooler. Got a plug in there. It's filthy, but it's got a plug in there. Got a tray out of my dad's Triton. It fits perfectly in there for snacks and stuff. I guess I could put the bimini up, but you can see that at the house. You got two batteries down there. This one right here is wired with everything. This is just an extra battery in case you need it. This cushion originally had a little slot to slide in right here, but I kept hitting my legs on it, so I took it off. But I mean, I don't ever sit down right there anyway. Usually I stand, but you could easily reattach that thing right there. This Ray Marine, I don't know if you probably never used a Ray Marine, I don't know, but it's got the 2D chirp sonar on it. It's got your down imaging on it. Or I said it did. There it comes. I must have the speed turned way down on it. But real nice. You probably don't need them. Those are Florida regs. You may not need them. They're old and they're about 5 years old, so they may be out of date, but you can see I got a lot of rod holders even back here. You know, there's going to be one of your 3/8. There's one of your other smaller ones. I tried to go back because I ate holes in the boat and put pop rivets in all the empty holes, so just so it looks clean. I didn't have another plastic thing like that in that tray in there when I got this boat, so I had a local metal shop. It cost me about $250, but they made this aluminum tray. The slides in there real good. Let's see what else. Rod holders on the side. I got straps right here to keep your rods and stuff in. Let's see if we got enough water in here to do that now. It should, maybe. And I'll show you exactly what that thing is going to do. Nope, maybe not yet, not enough water. I got sponges and stuff in there for filter medium, so it may take a little bit for it to get through the filter. There it goes. And you can see it creates a lot of rotation in this thing when it gets some more water in it. And if you ever wanted to take this thing out, in order to plumb it straight down, because it won't overflow on the side fast enough, but to make that overflow, I had to cut about a 6" by 6" square through this top piece of aluminum to get to the bottom hole to put a through hole down there. So, you know, if you ever decide to want to take that out, there is about a 6-inch square hole in this top of this aluminum right here, which I'm sure would be nothing to put a plate over and put some pop rivets in, but you know, that would just be up to you, whatever you wanted to do. Now this right here, this is just some pipe foam, pipe insulation that I put around here. It does a pretty good job at keeping, you know, splashing and stuff like that down in the boat, but I have run this thing to where the water's way up here full of catfish, and it will kind of get some water in the boat, but that's just to be expected. Let's see, I really wanted to show you the oxygen infusion setup on those two things, because they will put a tremendous amount of oxygen in the water. But you gotta let the water get up in there some more. But anyway, let's that trolling motor works just fine. As you can see, it'll swing this boat around pretty quick. If you're in this thing by yourself and you're in the back, it really picks the nose up. So, you know, you really probably need it in there pretty deep. When you got a couple people, see, I don't have any weight in the front of the boat right now, no anchors, no nothing, so there's nothing in the front of the boat. And this is a brand new plug, female and male, that I put in there on that plate just to make sure it would, you know, survive everything, stuff like that. But let's see what else. There is a 12-volt outlet right here, and there's one in the back there that are both wired to the batteries for you need accessories, anything like that. Big stable boat. I mean, you can see you could you could lay down in this thing. If you wanted to camp, you could lay across the front deck of this thing. Let's put this trolling motor back up. Lock it down. And what I do too, especially since this one's attached in because it's plastic but that one's not, I'll take my life jackets and stuff and I'll actually put them under that aluminum tray, because that whole deck of that boat's open. I wouldn't put an anchor or nothing down there, but because it'll beat the bottom of the boat, but a life jacket or something like that won't hurt nothing. You see that down imaging tweaking a little bit. You can see that hill right there with those trees on top of it. A couple fish in there. I need to change the color on that, but I think we got enough water in here now. You can see how that thing puts bubbles in the water and infuses, and the other one does more than that. Whenever it gets enough water in there at some point. This thing's been sitting in my dad's shop now for about 5 months, so it sounds like there's a little bit of trash in that pump. And all you got to do is just, this thing right here will pop off, and you could, it's got just a nut threaded up on that, and you can see it'll come off of that if you want to just put a screen down there instead of that, which would be just fine if you're using shiners or something like that, because they don't have the issues that shad do to keep alive. But yeah, you just have to take into consideration that's a lot of water. I'll fill that thing up a little bit and then we'll run back across the lake and see how much difference it makes with about 50 gallons of water in the front. This thing being so far forward, it actually makes the boat ride better with weight in the nose, because you can see it was kind of porpoising a while ago with just me in the back of it. But having this weight in the front makes the boat ride just a little bit better, pushes it through the waves. can hear what it's doing. You can hear it. It's pulling outside oxygen through those hoses and infusing that water with it. I mean, you can see the bubbles that it's putting in there. And this thing will keep shad alive for days. All right, I'd say we got about 30 gallons of water in it, maybe 25 gallons of water in there. And you can see the circulation. I don't have anything to throw in there to float around, but no, that mussel's not gonna float. See if we can get you something that'll float. And you can see it'll carry that thing around there pretty good, assuming it would float. And that overflow will do just fine keeping up with it. You don't have to worry about it running over in the boat or nothing like that. The one thing I hadn't put on it, I never put a timer on it, but these pumps don't pull too much, so it's not that big a deal, but you can see the circulation in it. And all right, let's get it back up on plane and see what it wants to do with some water in the front of it. Again, just turn the key, let it go through its, turn the key, let it go through its cycles. Cranks right up, no problem. Trim it down. And you may actually be able to get more too. I'm not remember where I've got the motor stopped down there at either. But let's run it back up the lake a little bit and then we'll turn around and put her back on the trailer. Definitely seems like she's running better with the new plugs they put in it. But see what I'm talking about the decals. But they serviced everything on it, so. As you can see, she gets up on plane quick.